True crime documentaries are usually formulaic and straightforward. Every once in a while, though, we get one that goes a bit off the rails. They Called Him Mostly Harmless is a new doc on Max, so let's dive in. A hiker found dead in the Florida wilderness from unknown circumstances is identified by internet sleuths after 2 years of research. His identity triggers more questions as multiple hikers claim to have met him, but he never revealed his name. So this starts off diving into the mystery of this hiker who was found dead in the Florida forests near or along the Appalachian Trail. Not only is his death unexplained, but his identity is unknown, only known by his trail name, Mostly Harmless. Now, the details of the dude are scarce to start with, and we do eventually get info on his life and his movements, but these are uncovered not by police or investigators, but by self-proclaimed internet sleuths. And that's where the crux of this story rests. We are told the story of the investigation by a couple of people who led the online search for information. They are certainly some characters. Now, very quickly, the narrative devolves into online personal drama that has nothing to do with the dead hiker. Keyboard warriors go after each other as they feel slighted over trivial circumstances, each vying for the praise and the accolades of leading the investigation and moderating the message boards. And it's a sick and disgusting display of narcissistic hubris, especially in light that a person had died and nothing was known about him, not even how to notify any prospective next of kin. And not even 5 minutes into the documentary, we're introduced to one of the amateur sleuths, and she works as a delivery driver for a dry cleaning service. She says the job isn't for the faint of heart. Now, I can't tell if she's talking about the delivery driving or moderating chats. Either way, though, we quickly get insight into the dramatic persona we're about to spend a chunk of time hearing from. Now, a lot of the interviews focus on the couple of moderators and their squabbles, but intermixed with these are interviews with professional investigators as well as the people who had met the guy at different points just along the trail. These interviews are sometimes insightful, but usually more speculative than factual. But when they're all put together, they begin to build an intriguing mystery. Not to spoil anything, but to satisfy curiosity, the dude's identity, it is eventually uncovered, like I said in the synopsis. So watching this isn't an exercise in complete futility. I was fascinated at watching as more is uncovered and the rabbit holes that are then gone down. Amidst all of the drama, we're slowly given a profile of the hiker, but there's still plenty of questions along the way. And I like that the answers don't come all at once, but we do get to feel the frustration of false leads and dead ends that everybody working to uncover his identity comes up against. The cinematography in this, especially as we're given slow-moving shots through the forest, they're beautiful to look at. When the visuals are combined with the natural sounds of birds chirping, bugs chittering, branches cracking, the setting, it can almost be felt. Now, I'm glad it can't really be felt because the mosquitoes in the swampy areas, they must be nasty, just thanks to all that humidity and the standing water. Now, testimony from detectives also helps to ground the facts and bring the mystery back around to then focus on Mostly Harmless, thankfully saving us at times from the growing ridiculousness of the online sleuths. Now, for as much as I do harp on them, the sleuths, they do play a very pivotal role in helping to solve the case. But it doesn't take away from the melodramatics that play out with their personalities and their egos. And unfortunately, as intriguing as the search for the dude's identity is, the narrative suffers from being distracted by its focus on the theatrics of the civilians, rather than maintaining the spotlight on the official inquiries. So if you are into true crime and you enjoy a reality show bent to some of the storytelling, They Call Him Mostly Harmless could be for you. The interviews are well shot and the imagery is captured beautifully. But the amount of time that's spent on warring personalities, it does take away from the enjoyment and the engagement of the actual story, relegating it to a backseat mystery. And even though a conclusion is accomplished, the reveals are lackluster, and they're overshadowed by the self-centered hubris the amateur sleuths put on display. There's no sex or nudity, a lot of profanity, and while no violence is shown, there are some disturbing crime scene photos. Now, as a reminder, I don't give couch ratings to documentaries, but I don't rank this one high on the list to check out, at least immediately. There are some intriguing aspects, but overall, it's a weak storytelling experience. So what are you binging right now? Anything that you can recommend to me? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.